Hi, Carl again from selfsufficienthub.com, and today we're going to be planting out my next lot of potatoes in this bed here. So this is another one of my no-dig beds, and as you can see it's got lots of mulch on top. So this is just really loose mulch, which is, I use wood chip, and as you can see as you go down through it, it's started to decompose at the bottom there. This was added at the end of last season. So we've got, well, you can probably see over here actually, these tiles that I'm stood on. This is basically the ground level, and then this mulch is just sitting on top. So a good 3 inches or so. One of the advantages, one of the many advantages, is it makes it, that much easier to weed it. So as you can see, there's hardly any weeds, and I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think I've weeded this bed at all this year. Actually, no, I must have because it's too weed free. But even so, I'm going to show you now one of the advantages with this method. You've got this mulch here which does act as a weed suppressant, but the weeds that you do get, they're just super easy to pull out, and you get the whole weed stem and root system 9 times out of 10. Once I've weeded all this bed, which will only take me a minute or two, we're then going to plant our potatoes in it. And we're going to do it without digging. Okay, so here's one of my potatoes that I've got going in the ground. This is one from the kitchen, and if you've got potatoes in your kitchen, once they start growing these shoots, you can still eat them. There's nothing wrong with them at all. You can just peel them and eat them. But I needed some potatoes to plant, so these guys are the ones going in. Now, if you buy seed potatoes, from what I can tell, the only difference, seed potatoes are sort of guaranteed to be disease-free, and you're not going to be introducing anything that you don't want into your bed. Whereas if you're using any other potatoes, you don't get that guarantee. But in my experience, I've never had an issue. So we use whatever we've got to hand. So we're going to put these in the ground now. And using the no-dig or the no-till method, it is as simple as it sounds. So we're just going to pull back the mulch here and get down to the soil, and whatever you're using as mulch, so long as it's organic matter, that'll be fine. So you can use compost or whatever you're using as mulch on your bed, you can use. So, and then down here, once we've uncovered the soil, we're just going to literally place our potato on the soil like that and cover it back over. That's it, done. That potato is planted. So we're going to do the same with these 2 rows or 2 rows we're going to get in this bed, which is going to give them loads of space. And yeah, that's our potato planted. So I'm just going to uncover this one again so that I can see it for when I plant the rest of my row. So over here you can see these are some of my early potatoes that are in, and we've already mounded up over them with some more loose material, and this loose material here is what our potato tubers are going to be growing in. So all the time, everything that the potatoes are in is a really loose substrate. So we're using a mixture of compost, straw and wood chip, depending on where we are on the bed. And when it comes to harvest, there's no digging to do. It's just, that's the best thing. For me, that's what made me do this. So there's a million different ways of growing potatoes, but a year and a half ago, I was digging up potatoes, and I left probably half harvest in the ground because my back just couldn't cope. And I'd done, and I'm physically fit, but I'd done so much work, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get the last of the spuds up, and it was heartbreaking. But the thought of carrying on with that digging was even more heartbreaking, and I had to give up. So I thought there has to be another way, and we'd already come across lots of ways of doing a lot of our planting without digging, a lot of our sowing and harvesting without digging. And then we started doing this with our potatoes, and it made all the difference in the world, because harvesting now, all the potatoes are going to be in this loose substrate at the top. they're going to choose to form there. They're not going to choose to form down in that compacted soil down below. Why would they? They're going to form in that loose substrate on top. So you grab hold of your plant and you pull it up, and a lot of the potatoes will actually come up with it. And those that don't, you can just put your hands in there and find them. So if you're about to go out and plant potatoes, this is how you should do it. However you've been told to do it, it probably involves lots of digging if you're doing it a traditional way, but you just don't need to do that. So please do this method. Your future self is going to love you for doing it this way, I promise you. So we have had a drop of rain in the last couple of days, but almost nothing, and we've had really hot, dry weather for weeks and weeks and weeks. One of the other massive advantages of using this method is just the moisture retention. So this soil, and this is the top layer of soil, and it is just beautifully moist, deliciously moist, just excitingly moist. So we're not going to have to water these guys at all. The only reason we're going to water these potatoes is going to be if we get, a proper prolonged drought. Like I say, this ground has had probably less than half a centimetre of rainwater in the last 3 to 4 weeks, probably a month, and it's just beautifully moist, and it's going to stay that way right through the summer. If we get a really bad drought and we get no rain for weeks and weeks and weeks, then sure, I might put the hose on it just once. Other than that, we might water them just the last week or so before we harvest, just to help those tubers really fill out. But other than that, that's, we're not going to need to water this bed at all. So it's just yet another great advantage of this style of gardening. So we're going to pop our potato in now and get the rest of this bed planted. So that's it. That's our bed all planted out through there. And down through here you can see the slight mounds where we've been earthing up these guys. And you just want to make sure that you keep earthing up your potatoes. Now, traditionally what people would have done is they would have hoed through the rows and they would have pulled the soil up onto the potatoes, but we don't want to disturb that soil. We're just going to add on top of the ground with more mulch, whatever you're using, whatever organic matter you're using. So we're going to be probably adding to this now, because we've got some compost there, so we're feeding that soil. We're probably going to be adding some of our hay, which our goats discard, through the rest of these rows to top those up. It's really important that you cover up your potatoes as they start forming. You don't want to see them peeping out through these mounds. The reason being that they'll start forming a compound called salinine. They'll start turning green, and when they do that, then they're starting to build up some chemicals in them that you really don't want. So you make sure that you keep them shielded from the sunlight, basically, with this loose organic matter. You're serving all the different purposes. You're feeding your soil, you're protecting your potatoes, and then you're preparing your bed for the following year as well when you pull your potatoes out and you just rake it all flat. So there you go. As always, if you find these videos valuable, there's several ways you can support them. The easiest ones are to press that like button, leave a comment down below, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're doing new videos all the time. Also, you might want to check us out on our podcast, the Self-Sufficient Hub podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. And you can also support us directly on Patreon, where we are patreon.com/self-sufficient hub. And anything you choose to contribute to the show makes a massive difference and will guarantee the future of this content. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.